Good afternoon. Wow, it's been an interesting morning. Cloud, digitization, generative AI. My head is spinning. Yeah. So, observability. Who can tell me what observability is? Okay. We're going to try and unwrap that myth. So, obviously, right now we're going through a period of digital transformation. We're doing heavy investment in AI, cloud, everyone is moving stuff. But that comes with its own complexities and challenges. You have security challenges. You have to deploy across data centers. Yeah, you have the same budget. And I appreciate what Charles was saying. You have to get buy-in from the top because budgets are not changing, resources are not changing, but you're supposed to deliver and give the customer experience everyone is looking for. So we at Eastra have partnered with SolarWinds. We have several partners, we do several things, but one of our key partners is SolarWinds. Why? We want to do IT service management. And if you know SolarWinds, they are the market leader in network monitoring. And now we're moving, we know the game is bigger because the challenge is much bigger. If you look at what your current networks looks like, there are some big organizations, big banks in here, but this is not new to everybody. You have your different silos of data centers. I had Corp Bank was talking about having their 5th disaster recovery site. Yeah. We have all this cloud. Everyone's talking about SaaS applications. Raymond was talking about moving to the cloud with SaaS. We have vendors who are supposed to connect to your network, but you're supposed to keep visibility on all these environments. Yeah. You also have your SLAs to keep with. So right now, IT has become a real challenge. How to manage IT, how to have visibility across all this environment. Yeah, that is why we bring in SolarWinds Observability. So obviously, with that infrastructure, you have tool sprawl. If you look at it, in fact, just to go back on that, each of these services, each of these cloud generated, each of these data centers has a different tool. Every time I go into a bank, I talk to the different guys. I talk to the network team. I talk to the database guys. Actually, the database guys are the ones who always tell me, oh, no, we have our beautiful Oracle tools. We don't need any visibility to it. I say, okay. But does the organization have visibility to your tools? They say, no. We are the DB guys. We manage this stuff. I say, okay, well and good. So you have a tool sprawl. So I've walked into banks in here, and we have about 10 to 15 tools in each organization. Now, these 10 to 15 tools, you need resources to monitor those 10, 15 tools. Those 10 to 15 tools are generating alerts. If any of you are old guys in IT, by the way, Ian, I'm 25 years into IT, not 16 years. I think the script was wrong there. If anyone who is in IT, they have that little folder in Outlook that say for alerts. Because those alerts are so many, you throw it in there. And the time you go and look for that alert is when something happens and you say, okay, yes, we had an alert. So your root cause becomes very painful because that alert was fired, but nobody responded to it. Okay? You have also multiple sources of data. And all these sources of data, you have to be able to plug into them. So that just causes missed SLAs and SLOs and causes a lot of problems within the organization. So going back to when I go into an organization, when I go into network, they tell me, no, we are monitoring, we are fine, we are safe. But guess what they're doing? They have a monitor that tells you the device is going down. So what are you doing? What happened? So we're in a constant state of troubleshooting what happened. Okay? Now with observability, you are getting an alert telling you why this is happening in real time and what actionable insights you have. So we're going to unwrap that in a second. So I like that we were talking about AI, new trends. Observability is now a trend. Yeah? Provide complete visibility across your full stack. When you talk about full stack, we're talking about all the way from layer 1 to layer 7 of your applications. So what observability does, we have. So I'm just going to go to a slide ahead. Somebody asked me the other day, I did not even have this slide. What happens in the back end of observability? So we're used to the traditional silos, applications, databases, networks, infrastructure, IoT, user experience, and all these are generating logs, traces, metrics. All this is all coming in. But traditionally, all this would go to a separate dashboard, and the respective teams would respond to that alert. But with observability, what we've done with SolarWinds, we have taken all these modules and branched them into one. So we have 14 modules we branched into one. So we have the network performance manager, the security and events manager, we have the database performance, and all of them have been branched into one, where now we are feeding all these input signals into observability, getting outputs, which were the visualizations you're seeing, the intelligent alerts, reduction of noise, we talked about all those alerts coming out, okay? The value proposition, acceleration to detection, remediation, yeah, increasing uptime, yeah? And who is our target market? Traditionally, our target market would be IT ops, database team, DevOps. Dev guys normally say, no, we're not monitoring, we're just developing. But now DevOps has become part of that. So all of a sudden, CIO is now our biggest customer. Every time I walk into an organization, I'm sent by the CIO to the head of infrastructure, I say the plot is lost. Because the guy is just worried about his infrastructure. So when I paint this big picture, only that guy at the top will be able to say, you know what? I need you to get all these guys in a room and actually get them to buy into what we're doing here. Because at the end of the day, it's not about database. It's not about infrastructure. It's not about network. Yeah, it's about user experience and customer experience. One CIO told me it takes 30 minutes, David, to get to a root cause. 30 minutes to get to a root cause. What happens in 30 minutes? Yeah? With observability, within seconds, you know what the issue is, yeah, and where the issue is coming from. So, with the help of SolarWinds, we've actually been able to create, compress the platform, get all these different modules feeding into observability, and now we're getting the outputs now we're looking for, right? So observability is the ability to compress all your monitoring tools into one single pane of glass, irrespective of who in the organization. So you no longer have to call the network team to say, you know what, my application is running, so do you guys have an issue? All you have to do is go and look at the dashboard. The biggest culprits are normally the network guys. Yeah? But as we said, you do not need them anymore. So what is our value proposition? Eliminate tools sprawl. I cannot imagine that all those tools you have within your organization, you have licenses for every tool. Now, what if you had one tool that you would feed all these inputs and see the same things you're saying? We're not saying you get rid of your native Oracle monitoring. We are saying you need one single pane of glass to look at your organization. Okay? So we're able to eliminate tool sprawl. There's been a lot of talk about AI in this room. I like the last speaker, he said they're using AI for support. Actually, SolarWinds is now championing AI. How do we reduce alert reduction? So if I have all these tools and I have one device, maybe my database server has some locks, but it's backing up the queue. You have a queue there, it's generating alerts. The CPU has gone up, it's generating alerts. You have all these 100 flood of alerts because of maybe a lock in the database. When those alerts come, where do we even start troubleshooting? But with AI, we're able to suppress all those alerts to get to the root cause. What is causing the issue? So instead of those 100 alerts, you're getting one alert telling you this is your problem. That is what observability is doing for you. Okay? Obviously, we've talked about the licensing, and it's cloud ready. I like, it was Raymond who said that they help you with the cloud journey. With observability, you can baseline your infrastructure, baseline your workloads, baseline your network, and come and say, when I go to the cloud provider, this is what I need. I do not need to get 80 cores. I need to get a machine with 8 cores. I don't need to get this. All you have to do is go back, look at your data over 1 year, replay it and say, this is exactly what you need. How much money have you saved there? Yeah, I'll give you a case. A certain CIO told me he spends 200 million a year on storage. 200 million a year. We put one of our VM tools with this in the environment. Once we ran the tool, we went and found that he had so much tool sprawl. We could find VMs that had not been touched for 1 year. You could find overcapacity servers where you're seeing a server that has been 80% capacity on hard drives that are not being used. So we ran the tool and came and told the guy, I can save you 40% of that 200 million a year if you spend $20,000 in this tool. Okay? I won't say if he gave, I don't know, maybe it was by design that 200 million, but we're able to save that kind of money. Okay? Tech support. So we've had a lot of talk today. I'm not going to go deep into this, but we've had a lot today about AI, ChatGPT, yeah? But maybe the one statement I can make here, AI is being hailed as the most significant digital transformation since the emergence of the internet. Stop there. The last major digital transformation was the internet. Now we're looking at AI, ability to transform how we're doing business. Okay, but with that, with all that, with all those opportunities, we come to the significant threats. Okay? So as much as we're using AI, generative AI, ChatGPT, even the hackers are using this. So we cannot talk about observability without talking about security. Yeah? And I'm going to touch on security a bit on this because this is a CyberOps conference too, as a CIO. So imagine you have all your assets within the organization. You have your physical assets, you have your virtual assets, you have your network, you have your third-party users, you have all this sitting there. You have that sitting on observability. What does that do for you? You've already shrunk the attack surface because guess what? You have one pane of glass looking at your organization. Okay? So all of a sudden, these things will allow you to go and look at all your networks. Our firmware is up to date. All your servers, our updates are up to date. Okay? Yeah. If we monitor AD, you can go and see who is logging in, who is doing what. So observability not only is monitoring IT assets, but it's giving you user experience too, because we can feed in user experience into observability to see which piece of infrastructure, which piece of service is affecting that user experience. So that's what we are doing. With that, you're able to now respond, assess what the issues are, respond to them. You have your security dashboards, you have your scoring. So you cannot talk to AI because without observability, without talking security. And when I look at this, this is a typical AI dashboard. I don't know how clear it is, but at the top you have your, basically on a CIO dashboard, I can put everything in it. I can put my utilizations for all my links within the organization. I can put my MPLS links. I can put my internet links. I can put different data center links. I can do connections, whether it's VPN connections coming in or queues on your core banking. I can even go and integrate with the ITSM and see which incidences have not been assigned. Yeah, I can look and see which backups failed last night. I can come in and look how many alerts we've received and which are the critical alerts. Traditionally, this would be alerts coming. But now you have one single source of truth, one dashboard that you can go in, just quickly get in, there is your root cause. You can tell your root cause just by looking at that dashboard. Now, if you marry that with the same infrastructure that you are monitoring, is the same infrastructure that giving you security information. So I normally say you have infrastructure spread, you have your 300 devices out there. We know their firmware status. In a click of a button, I can tell you, is that machine out of firmware? Are there any policy violations? Yeah. Windows updates up to date. So we try and marry security to observability. And what we've done is we've just shrunk that attack platform. So observability is here, is being hailed as something that you need. We can integrate with all these different modules within your organization: patch management, vulnerability assessment, access control. Those are some of the things people don't even look at. We have something called a user device tracker, a module called user device tracker within observability. Basically, all the assets that are logged in within the organization, you have them in real time. So traditionally, it was very expensive to monitor endpoints. With HCO, you're able to pull in all these endpoints within the database, and now you can see you have 1,000 endpoints. They're all. Endpoint means even access control devices. So if they're out of date, everything, you have real-time visibility to it. So some of the security dashboards we're providing gives you better understanding of your whole security network. You gain visibility, and you can look at all your vulnerabilities, policy violation, risk assessments. I like some of these tools because there's a certain CIO who told me, David, I want, when something changes on the network, I want to know about it. Because our last attack, somebody came, changed the device, sat there for 45 days, nobody caught it. Then the threat actor came after 45 days. So I said, but that's very easy. We have a tool that looks at your configurations, and if something changes, it says, this is a change, this is the line change, and this is the person who changed it. Yeah? So there are so many use cases we have of this, where even if you send your subcontractors or your partners to the regions, configuring your routers, you can just run a tool and say, but that's not the base config I gave you. This is the base config. It's the same on the server. If typically in IT, we know it just doesn't break. Something has changed before it breaks. So you can look at the baseline. What did it look like yesterday? What does it look like today? So our dev guys push something without letting us know. That is what this does for you. Okay? So some of the things we're gaining from observability, we gain insights into all our distributed environments, understand the security posture, which is very important. Imagine you have a tool that makes you understand the security posture for every device in your organization. That is observability. Yeah? Remove internal silos. So the DBA guy will no longer say, I have a monitoring tool. Okay? He works with the organization. So it's supposed to be, we have a monitoring tool for our whole organization. We have visibility across. We have observability across. So we are removing all those different teams and tools and everybody thinking it's a network issue, it's an infrastructure issue, it's a database issue. It's an organization issue. Okay? And obviously that reduces time to identify issues, time to remediate, time to act. So at SolarWinds, they realized there are so many third-party tools. So as part of observability, we have integration to all these third-party security tools. Now imagine when an attack happens within an organization, the first thing the auditors come doing is pulling logs, pulling logs, pulling logs. But with observability, when you come and ask me, can I get the router logs? Can I get the server logs? You don't need that. All you say is, can I get the dashboards between 8 and 4 p.m., what was happening within the environment? We have a tool called PathStack and AppStack. AppStack, actually, you can group all your devices as one device and run it, and it'll tell you what is happening. So I'm just going to run through this. I've been told my time is up, but when you look at observability, it's an endless possibility, but you're looking at your organization within a single pane of glass. Maybe I'll stop by saying security is no longer an IT issue, okay? So if you can't see it, you cannot monitor it, and you cannot defend it. So you need IT to secure it, yeah? So guys, we have two flavors. We have hybrid cloud observability and advanced observability. Full stack observability gives you visibility to the whole organization. So we have a booth out there. This is our banking business case where a certified customer said they reduced their time to remediation between 60 and 80%. So We have a booth out there. Please contact us and let's engage. This is a conversation for everybody. Thank you.